What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Toma Todito Boxing Show. I have none other than Nicco Tapia, the other half of the legacy that will continue pushing forward for the late Johhny Tapia.
What's up, everybody?
How are you doing?
I know good.
You're a man of short words. You're not very very verbal on your interviews and so forth, but
I'm just a fighter, you know. I go in there, I do my job. I'm getting used to the cameras, though. I'm getting a lot more used to it.
How was it for you earlier this year when you guys announced that you were going to do your pro debut in April? Undercard of Rashad and Quentin Jackson, and then Shane Mosley Jr. is coming. Fernando Vargas Jr., Brian Mendoza, local star from here, was going to be part of the card. And now you got all kinds of platforms coming at you, and you're not used to talking very much to anybody. How was that for you? How did it hit you?
So I felt ready. I know I was ready for the fight, but as soon as we got to the press conference, it was my first press conference. So I was there, whoa, there's a lot of people, there's all kinds of cameras, there's stars I'm seeing everywhere, big people. It kind of hit me by surprise.
Yeah. Did it bring it to you full circle when people say that fighters will cave under the big lights, under the big stages, when you see like a Canelo and somebody stepping in against Canelo and they're running their mouth, this and that, and then Canelo will be like, wait till you step in the ring, because now it's a packed Vegas arena and the noise and the music, and then the fighters make you wait on your walkout, or you're in the ring waiting, and then you got Bad Bunny singing you out. You're like, what the hell, I'm ready to fight, and this thing doesn't start. Did that bring it to you a little bit? Just the fact that you had all that fanfare, the media, you're like, dang, this, I could see how it could be overwhelming for someone.
Yeah, I'd say so, but
in a smaller scale, obviously, but
yeah, I'd say so, but I don't know. As soon as I get in the ring, it's just everything is, it's just me and my opponent. That's all that matters.
What's the weirdest interview you've had to date? What's the weirdest questions that you've gotten that you're like, why are they asking me this?
Off the top of the head, I don't really know, but I just don't like interviewers who are they try to just it's just, you're a vibe, you're cool, it's easy talking to you, but with some interviews, it's they want to try to get answers, or the
Q&A style.
Yeah, just I don't really like that.
You're gonna be debuting at 175 pounds, light heavyweight.
No, 165, so middleweight.
168 for pro.
165.
165 for pro.
Yeah.
Is that a division or is that for amateurs?
It's just an unagreed upon weight. So,
okay, but that's for tomorrow. For tomorrow night's
for tomorrow, I'm fighting at 170.
Tomorrow you're fighting at 170 amateur?
Yeah. And
then for your pro debut, you already have it lined up?
Not the opponent, but weight, I want to fight at 165.
165? And so eventually you're going to have to pick, right? Middleweight or super middleweight. 168 or 160 would be your two divisions. I think in the first 20 fights or so, usually at the beginning of your career, you could do catch weights and so forth. Are you trying to figure out where you're at weight-wise, whether you're going to go middleweight or super middleweight? Or why the 165?
165, I just feel the most powerful. I feel it's just a great weight for me. It's not too hard to make. But I'd say once I get a nutritionist and my trainer sees, drop as low as possible. So maybe I don't know. I don't think I can go below 154 though. I'm a big boy. So.
What's the lowest that you fought at?
154.
154?
Yeah, that was for my first fight.
And how was your strength? Has your strength stayed with you as you've competed and gained weight and gone up in weight divisions? Or do you feel that you get stronger? Maybe slower? Or how has that shift been for your body?
I'd say I've lost my train of thought.
You're good.
I've gotten stronger. I walk around. Speed? Yeah. I lost a little bit of speed because right now, I was walking around 185. So I'm used to walking around 175. But I feel I've always had power. I've always been a big boy. I was 240 at my highest. I lost all the way to 154. I had my first amateur fight. And then 160 is just kind of where I feel comfortable.
You're 20 years old right now?
Yeah.
20 years old. When were you at 240?
I was at 240. I'd say I was 16, so like 4 years ago.
And competing in amateurs already?
No.
So just undisciplined 240.
Yeah, just not doing anything.
And then now you started competing, prepping, training. That weight started coming off. You walk around normally around the weight that you fight at then, or the weight that ideally you want to fight at.
Yeah.
That's as disciplined as you could get.
Yeah.
I mean, what else do you ask for, right? You don't have no crazy weight cuts. I don't know if you ever looked into like somebody else who was in you guys' footsteps a generation ago in Chavez Jr. He just recently fought Jake Paul, but the stories were always there. Every time he was fighting at welterweight at 147, and they would see him mid-year, and he was 210 pounds. They're like, how's he gonna go to 147? That's wild.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing to your brain, to your body, you know?
Yeah, no, that does not sound fun.
It doesn't sound healthy.
Yeah, just maintain the weight. You know, you can have a snack every once in a while. Just, you know, working out every day, just maintaining a healthy body, healthy mind, healthy spirit.
When you fight, when you walk around at a weight close to where you compete, does it worry you at all about the opponents? Because you know that they're going to be big boys that are cutting crazy weights, 20 pounds, 25 pounds. Does that worry you at all to where you're like, maybe I should go back another division, or do you welcome that challenge? You're like, all right, my power, I could rely on my power.
Yeah, I welcome the challenge. I believe in my power. Like, I believe in it so much. So I feel like that's one of my biggest strengths is my power.
I was mentioning off mic to both you and your brother, you guys' bodies have changed completely in the last, have completely crafted your bodies into becoming fighters. So you noticed a change maybe in the last 2 years for yourself, right? Weight, maintaining weight, gaining strength, speed, agility. Do you feel that your body's gonna stay stagnant, or you're gonna continue changing? Because you're putting in a lot of work. You're probably gonna be even lighter, or maybe start bulking up and go heavier by 22, by 23. What do you see? What are your coaches telling you? You're going up or going the opposite way?
I think I'm gonna drop some more weight. I feel like that's the way I'm headed. As speed goes, as power goes, it's only increasing though. I feel like the way I really am gonna fight at though, turning pro, is gonna be around 154 or higher.
Super welterweight?
Yeah, so.
Either super welterweight or middleweight?
Yeah.
And how do you see that super welterweight division right now? 154, Virgil Ortiz, Fundora. You're not as tall as your brother. Imagine you against Fundora. That would be insane.
Yeah,
but those are killers.
I turn into Mike Tyson on him. Just
just take the ribs out.
Yeah.
I mean, you're picking that up from your dad, right? The body shots.
Yeah.
And your dad was an expert at doubling and tripling that body shot. I've heard you say in the past that you like to do film study and you like to study your dad's fights. Is there specific fights that you look at, or have you seen his whole career?
I haven't watched every single fight, but I've watched almost every single fight. My favorite fight from my dad was Nana Konadu. I believe that's how you say it. It was for a world title, but I forget which one. I think his third, maybe. I don't know. I might be wrong. But that was my favorite fight from him, because he just outboxed that dude. Like, and that dude was like, like they were going for him rather than
he was a favorite.
Yeah, my dad was on the underdog, and he just went out there and outperformed. It was beautiful boxing. When
you mentioned that you study your dad's fights, is this film study for you? Kind of like the football approach, basketball approach, where they sit and cut film and just study, and you do it privately, just more intimate, where you're actually breaking down the fight? Or is it just at random that you just watch a fight and you're like, all right, I'm gonna see how this fight went, and then maybe you have other people around you? What's the intensity like for you when you're actually cutting film and doing these film sessions?
I like taking notes. So I'll sit there and I'll watch a fight, whether it's with people or not, but I'm always taking notes. So if I see something I like, I'll write it down. And I do like a lot of YouTube videos though. Like, I won't just watch fights. Like, I'll watch just YouTubers breaking down like each thing, or listen to like how trainers talk, like Customato, that's what you say, right? You know?
Customato, yeah.
Yeah. Like hearing him speak, So I like that a lot. You
see yourself picking up the peekaboo style?
adding my, I don't know. I got
That's
my
a
own,
workout in itself.
Yeah, it is. It is. I don't know. We'll see.
What have you picked up from watching your dad's fights that you feel you apply in your boxing style? You have a completely different style. I've seen your fights, but you do have some similarities. Your dad was known for combinations, for body shots, for that shotgun jab that he used to call. What have you picked up? Because I think your combinations are right there. You like to throw punches and bunches.
Yeah, I'd say like my combinations and my body shots too. My dad would tear their body apart, and I feel like I do the same thing. It's just like as soon as like you tear their body up, their hands start dropping to protect their body, and that's when you come over top.
How do you feel you're processing right now as far as your opposition, as far as when you step into the ring? How is your processing of the whole fight at the moment right now, from where you were at a year ago, from where you were at when you first started? Are you starting to analyze your opponents a lot more? Are you just zoned in on your game plan of what your coach told you? Or how are you processing the whole scene right now that as you step through the ropes?
As of right now, I'm not analyzing my fighter because I can't find anything on him. But as of right now, I'm just like controlling my thoughts.
Not so much like prepping for the opponent ahead of time, but meaning like during the fight. Bell rings, he's coming at you. What is it that's going through your head? Executing your game plan, or are you actually paying attention to the opponent and how they're moving, whether their hands are high, low, so forth?
Yeah. I feel like my ring IQ has definitely improved. I remember my first fight. It was like I trained I believe 3 months for it, but I didn't really have like a trainer, And I just remember being thrown in there like it was everywhere, But as of now, I'd say I'm finally have a good ring IQ, can finally read if they're gonna throw a jab, what kind of combinations are gonna come, just reading my opponent.
I recall your dad, the reason I'm bringing it up, because if you're studying your dad's fights, I recall your dad mentioning the first thing he would do is look at their eyes. Okay, and then once he would lock eyes with them, then he would figure out what they were doing. Then he would test them with the jab. And the first jab was gonna see how they react. The second jab was gonna be follow up with a body shot, and now start testing the foundation of it. And that's the reason why I was asking now, what is it that you're seeing right now versus how you started? You're saying you started all over the place. Now you're starting to get a little more organized. Is there something that you're zeroing in on now that it's starting to make sense, like the light bulb's starting to go off?
As soon as I get in there, I look into my opponent's eyes, and if he breaks eye contact, I already know I got him. But if he keeps eye contact, I know it's gonna be a war. So that's what I look at.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's great. Do you embrace the wars? You embrace the back and forth?
Yeah, I mean, like when my last fight, he kept eye contact. So I was like, I know it's gonna be a war, but I was excited. I train hard for my fights. I mentally prepare myself, physically, everything. So.
Have you ever, when I was talking to your brother, he mentioned that at some point he ended up checking out. He just wasn't feeling it. Did that happen to you as well? Has that happened throughout your journey? Or have you always been fully invested in boxing?
I'd say I had a little slip up, but it was more just like I'd be out of the sport for like 2 weeks and then I'd get back into it. I'd say the longest I've been out of the sport ever since I've started fighting was I'd say 2 months, 2-3 months. So I like to stay in it even whenever I'm not, mentally there. I like to be in the gym.
I asked your brother this, what would define success for you in your professional career? What would be a successful career for Nicco Tapia? Not what other people may think or say. What would success mean to you?
Retiring my mom. Just making sure my family's good. Just creating my name, building my dad's name. Even though, just building it even higher to the newer generation. And just being a good person at the end of the day. Good.
Do you have visions of world championships as well, or do you want to take the low risk, high reward path that many fighters end up taking, the big money fights versus the titles? I think the best example right now would be Tank. Yeah. He's like, I don't give a crap about your titles.
Yeah, with Jake Paul.
Just purse. Now he's signed with Jake Paul, right, as of yesterday.
Yeah, because I thought he was gonna fight Shakur, and then now he's fighting Jake Paul. But I mean, that's where the money is.
Yeah. What path do you want to take? You want to take the legacy, the getting into the boxing annals and records, or do you want to go for the money fight since you're looking for stability and settling and hoping to settle your family financially? Or do you think both will come?
Yeah,
One will
I feel
complement
like
the
both.
other?
Yeah, I feel like both. You know, I want a world title. I want to win. I want a bout. You know, I love bouts. Like, you know, growing up with them, you know, always wearing my dad's belt, you know, flexing like it's mine. Or like if I win an amateur fight, I get a belt from it. So I'm all happy with that. So I want a bout. I will get a bout. And but money talks, you know. So that's the plan.
There's so many belts out there, and I mean, everybody has a belt now. Which one's the most meaningful one for you? Which one's the one that you're like, that's the one, if I get a belt, that's the one I want to go after?
As of right now, I don't know. I don't know as of right now. I really like the WBC belt. I don't know. I don't know, just...
You haven't thought of it yet?
Yeah, I haven't really thought of that.
But the green belt seems to be the one that...
Yeah, that's the one, I don't know, I like that one.
With the prestige.
Yeah, I like that one a lot.
What's the biggest mindset, what's the biggest thing that you've been able to pick out of your dad's mindset to be able to continue on with this legacy as everybody's kind of throwing that pressure at you guys? What's the biggest piece of advice that you've been able to get from your dad now that you're older and you're able to comprehend?
I'd say just the warrior spirit. Like, you know, just give it your all, you know. Like the heart, you know, just if you're gonna go in there, you know, you give it your all, you do it. You gotta have the mindset like he's gotta kill me if he wants to win, you know. So I feel like I adapted that type of mentality and mindset from him.
I heard him say once, I think it was prior to the Paulie Ayala fight, where he says, if they're looking to bruise me, if they think they're gonna bruise me or break my nose, something to that sense, and he's like, that's it? That's all they're gonna do? Like, I want more, like, bring it. Yeah. Is that kind of the mindset that you're embracing, and have you faced that type of adversity yet, where you're getting punched and you're like, dang, like this guy hits hard, and you might check out, or you just go like, all right, let's...
I just keep it, like if I'm in that ring, I keep it going. Like my dad thinks, like, you're gonna have to kill me if you want to win, so that's just the way I fight.
I've heard you mention in the past, you step through those ropes and you feel your dad's presence in the ring with you. Expand on that for me. What exactly do you mean by that? Is it an image? Is it a memory? Is it a flashback of one of his fights? Is it something that overcomes you spiritually? What is it that, is it his voice?
So during the beginning of my amateur career, I was really nervous for my fights. Like I'd be in the back like, you know, just nervous, like those butterflies. And, but it's like, it's gotten easier a lot. Like, you know, like I'm like, this is my 8th amateur fight now. So I'm like, I've done this 7 other times, you know, so I know how to be ready for it. But as soon as I step in the ring, like as soon as I go through those ropes, it's like I just feel it, like, you know, just his presence, he's like giving me power, he's giving me like that spiritual, like, you know, just like good feeling. It's just a great feeling.
Do you hear his voice? Do you recall his voice? Because you were very, very small when he passed. You were still very young, but you got tons of memories. And there's that famous picture where both you and your brother have gloves and he's kneeling in between you two. And there's some type of memory that has to flash in there almost. If you're feeling his presence, it's almost like there's 2 of you against the opponent in that ring.
Yeah.
That's a jumping.
No, even in my dreams too. Like I talk to him every night. Like whenever I pray, I talk to him, talk to my whole family, you know, all that I've passed. But you know, it really is. It's a great feeling.
Was there any? I had an interview with the legendary Michael Carvajal, and his story was that at the age of 6, he made a promise to his dad that he was going to become world champion, and that he was going to retire world champion. His dad passed away right after his unification bout in 1993, so he never got to see him retire. But he ended up retiring after he won his last title. But he never had that conversation with his dad. You say you talk to your dad a lot. What will that conversation be like? Have you played that scenario in your head when you do have your first world title and be like, hey, job done?
Yeah, I mean...
Have you envisioned that? Do you take comfort in knowing that maybe there isn't that much pressure of continuing the legacy and what am I going to do in there because you're in communication with your pops?
Yeah, I mean, I talk to him every night. I'm just like, be in my brother's corner, be in my corner, help my mom, you know, she's stressed. But I haven't really envisioned that, you know, that conversation with him. But now that you bring it to mind, I'll definitely give it a thought.
You utilize his song to walk out, right? The song, at least the first time I heard the song was in the documentary. And was that a song that he used to walk out to as well?
Oh yeah, there's a couple. They're all in like my running playlist, my training playlist. Like whenever they come on, I feel the spirit. Like he's all happy dancing with me, you know, on the bag with me. So
that's cool. Have you picked up a nickname for yourself yet? Your dad went from Babyface Assassin to Mi Vida Loca towards the end of his career. Have you picked a nickname for yourself, and are you gonna go wild?
I haven't picked one. I feel like that's the fans' job, but I don't know. I don't have a nickname as of right now.
How do you see your style in comparison to, if you were to tell the young fans right now, the people that are gonna start following your career, if you were to compare it to anybody that's out there and you're gonna be like maybe a blend of this and maybe somebody who retired, you're gonna be like, Nicco Tapia, you could expect to see a mix of this and this, or if you like this style, then this is what I'm gonna give you. How would you sell it?
Okay, I guess I'll put it like this. Like the style that I'm going for is I like Roberto Duran for his just viciousness, you know, like I swear there was one fight where I swear his eyes were black. Like I was like, you know, that viciousness, like, you know, like you're in there for one job and one job only. And another one I'd say is my dad, you know. I like how, because my dad was a brawler, but like a technical brawler. Like he'd slip those punches and then come right back. But like it looked like he was just brawling, but you know, he was flipping, moving. I'd say that too. Getting my defense down, because low-key, like first couple amateur fights, I ain't had no defense. I was just in there to bang. So I'd say that for my dad. And then I don't know what else. I don't know. Just power.
Would you say you're more of a slugger? You definitely like to pressure the fighters.
Yeah.
You walk them down. You keep going forward.
Yeah.
Combinations.
Yeah, I mean, I don't like that's what I've been working on, because that's whenever I get mad, I start brawling with people and just, you know, I just like, because they'll hit me and I'll be like, all right, bro, what's up? Like, let me hit you like 8 times back. But as of now, like I'm working more on my boxing, my footwork, my speed, my defense, you know, just creating that pro style. So
You're gonna get to shake the cobwebs off tomorrow night as well.
yeah.
Amateur fight, you mentioned tomorrow's is at 170.
Yes.
Where was Nicco Tapia in April when you were going to make your pro debut versus the Nicco Tapia we're going to see tomorrow? Because now you finally get to get active. You get to step through those ropes again. And even though you've been training and so forth, but it's different when you're competing and there's a crowd that's watching. Where were you at? Do you feel that you're a better version right now than 4 months ago when you were going to make that pro debut? Or do you feel we're going to see exactly what we should have expected back in April?
Yeah, I mean, for the April fight, I had a good 3-month camp. Like, it was perfect. Everything was good. I was just sick not too long ago. So, like, starting last month, I was, like, sick for, like, a week and a half there. So I've only had 2.5 weeks to really prepare for this fight. But I feel good. I feel like I've improved since April. So I feel like you're just going to see a good fight, like always.
When do you envision your pro debut happening?
November 2nd.
You already have a date?
No, that's...
Is this breaking news right now?
Well, not breaking news, but it's in there.
Okay.
It's in there.
Sometime early November?
Yeah.
And with the pro debut, would you want to squeeze in another fight before calendar year, or it's going to be one fight and then have a heavy year 2026 of just trying to get as many fights as possible?
Honestly, if I can get a fight next month, I would. I know there's a tournament. I forgot who told me about this. It was a trainer out in Vegas. But there's a tournament somewhere, I think in Phoenix or Las Vegas, next month. So I was looking into that because, you know, winning a tournament, That sounds
If you guys are out in Phoenix, you guys got to hit me up.
okay. Definitely.
I'll go check this out.
Yeah, definitely. I know there's a tournament beginning of next month and end of next month, I believe. I don't know, something like that.
Amateur still?
Amateur, yeah.
Okay. And so would you be able to, you can't bounce back, right? So if this one happens, it has to be before November-ish,
Yeah.
right? For you to be able to compete and continue to just grow. Are you ready for the pros?
Yeah.
You feel ready?
Yeah, I feel ready.
How many fights ideally would you want to have each calendar year for the first few years? What would be ideal for you?
As of right now, it's like I've given my life to boxing. So I eat, sleep, live boxing. So I'd say the next 3 years, I just, as much as possible. Like, all I want to do is just train and fight and just get as many fights as possible in within the next 3 years.
Out of your amateur career, have you taken any losses yet? This is your 8th fight tomorrow night?
Yes.
Any losses yet?
My second fight, I lost.
How did you bounce back from the loss? How did you handle it?
As soon as I lost, went home. I went on a run. Next day, I was back in the gym, like just training harder than ever. So.
Decision loss?
Yes. Yeah.
How did you cope with it? Because it's hard. One thing is to get stopped. Another is people's opinion saying, you didn't get this one. They bested you. Does it mess with you? Or did you just shake it off and let's move on to the next?
It was my second fight, and I gave it my all. So, like, honestly, it didn't really affect my mind. Nothing really too bad because I was in there. I was banging. I was ready. Like, as tired as I was, and like, because I remember being in that ring, like, oh, and I just kept going, you know. So I feel like I gave it my all, but the other guy just had a little bit more than me. So
I think it's a great thing. The reason I'm asking is because as young fighters, adversity seems to be the hardest thing. There's people that take a loss and never come back.
yeah,
They're just so set on winning all the time, and it's devastating for them that they never bounce back or they never come back to what they were. They lose that fire. You're already facing a bit of adversity in the amateurs. It's probably fair to say that it might happen in the pros. Hopefully not.
Yeah.
Hopefully not too much. And if it happens, hopefully early on and not when it matters, you know, when you actually build your career. But at least you're learning how to deal with that adversity, and you're mature enough to handle it.
yeah.
So that's really interesting. All right, let's do this. Out of your dad's legacy and the pressure that you felt, and these interviews continue to come your way and so forth, how are you going to handle this come the pro debut when these same questions present themselves? I feel like you're more prepared now.
Yeah.
How are you going to handle this as far as who Nicco Tapia is and what can people expect?
I wanna study more. You know, just study more on the interviewing side, study more on the press conference side, because I'd never really look into that. I'm more just like fight, like, you know, just them in the ring. You know, that's what I pay attention to. That's my training. You know, that's my life right now. But I want to pay attention to like other fighters, how they do interviews, how they talk to the cameras. You know how Floyd Mayweather does it. Like, I've heard that as soon as the camera turns on, he's like an asshole, and then as soon as it goes off, he's like, oh, the cool person. So it's like, I want to study other fighters and how they do it, and you know.
That's fair. That's fair. Let's start ending with this. I heard an anecdote from your brother saying that the hardest punch that he's experienced came from you in sparring. We could blow up your ego a little bit here. Is that true?
Well, he used to pick on me all the time as a little kid, and we'd always be in the ring sparring. And then I remember there was this one time he just kept coming at me, hitting me hard. I was like it hurt. I remember being a little kid, like, ow, bro. And then I just got pissed, and like, I don't know, like, it used to just be this flip that like once it switched, like, I couldn't control myself anymore. So yeah.
There's some truth to that story.
Yeah, I remember swinging on him, hitting him, and then taking off my gloves and just going to my room and just slamming my door, just like, nobody talk to me, bro.
I love it. Well, best of luck tomorrow evening at your fight. And this is huge, right? For the gym, for the promotional company, and then you're gonna close out the year with a bang hopefully going pro. And then if you participate in another tournament, I want to know about it so I could be there cheering you guys on. And send a message out to your fans, your family, your friends. How do people reach you?
Hey, thank you to everybody watching this and just supporting me for my journey and my brother's journey. You know, I love you guys. I love you, family, all you guys. I love you, Albuquerque. And you can follow me on Instagram at Johhny Nicco Tapia. And that's like the only social media I use. So, yeah, thank you guys.
Man, I appreciate you so much. Best of luck going forward. Thank you again. Nicco Tapia, everybody.
Thank you.